All right, so I just got back from a pretty awesome trip to Tokyo. Amongst a lot of other things that I bought, I got a Japanese PlayStation 2 and a collection of some either rare or just cool stuff that I wanted as far as fighting games on the PS2. So I'm just making this video to go over what I got. So first up, in my Street Fighter slash whatever you want to call it pile, I got SVC Chaos, SNK versus Capcom. Got it for 34.80, which was actually about the most that I paid for any single game, which is not bad at all. It's about $25. All of these copies of these games are in great condition, like pretty much mint. Um, they would say on the front of them if they were missing like the booklet or something like that. So, you know, all of these games, I assume they have the cases, the booklets to them. But yeah, SVC Chaos was never released in the US. I was really glad to pick that one up. Next up, I'm gonna go a little faster here. Street Fighter EX3, I got for 11.80, super cheap, about $8. Um, I love the EX games. I know a lot of people weren't big fans of them, but EX2 Plus and EX3, I played a lot. Um, just kind of interesting 3D fighters. Okay, next up, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike for the PS2. I never seen a copy of this on its own. In fact, I don't think that there is a standalone copy that was ever made. The first time I played this was part of the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. But to have it as its own standalone game is pretty cool. And it's one of my favorite Street Fighter games ever. So it's great to have that. All right, we'll move on to, these are just a couple of random anime fighters. Hajime no Ippo, The Fighting Victorious Boxers. Four at 480 yen. About $3 or so. It's real cheap, but you can see like the roster looks like they got a decent number of characters. Not big into boxing games, but I like this one. Super cheap find. Anything that's related to an anime I'm familiar with, I wanted to get. Like this Saint Seiya. I've seen some videos of this fighting game. I know it's got a lot of characters on it. Typical Saint Seiya, there's a million of those guys. I'm looking forward to playing this one. Next up, I grabbed like 3 Guilty Gear games. This one was really cheap at 550 yen. I don't really know, or I didn't do my research about what Guilty Gear games were released in the US and which ones weren't. So basically, I just kind of grabbed whatever I could as far as Guilty Gear, just because they're fun fighting games. So XX, The Midnight Carnival. I don't feel like I ever saw that one out and about. Guilty Gear X Plus. Also, it was really cheap, 780 yen. Remember, anything under 1,000 yen. I mean, if it's less than $7, I mean, I'm gonna get that every time. So more Guilty Gear, kind of more the same. XX Accent Core. I actually have this on my PS3 system, so I've played this one. I've never had it on PS2. When the PS2 was popular, I wasn't really aware of Guilty Gear, so I don't know if some of these games did come out on PS2. I have no idea. 1,000 yen on the nose. Another inexpensive, cool game. Now this one here, this might have been one of the most unique ones that I've found. Um, Battle Stadium, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto. I looked up the gameplay for this. When I saw it in the store, I had no idea what it was, and even looking at the back, I wasn't really sure what I was in for. But it's essentially like a Smash Brothers game, but with characters from Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Naruto. So that's just a unique find, just something I hadn't really heard of. And when I went to Tokyo, I wasn't really sure if I was even going to get a PS2. I was thinking maybe I was going to get a Super Famicom, but once I got there, it was like, yeah, I'm going to stick with PlayStation because it's what I know and it's what I love. So excited to get my hands on this one. At 1958, about $14. That was an easy decision. The Dragon Ball games I got, really more just to have. This one, Dragon Ball Z. This is the first Dragon Ball Z Budokai game. And in Japan, they were just called Dragon Ball Z. 480 yen, super cheap. Probably not one I'll play a whole lot. I remember the first Budokai, I remember it fondly, but the gameplay's kind of aged, you know. If you're gonna play anything, you're gonna play Budokai 3. But I picked it up. It's cheap, and then the artwork looks cool. Next up, I'm just gonna kind of show both of these at the same time. I got Sparking Neo and Sparking Meteor, and this is essentially, well, it's not essentially, it is Tenkaichi 2 and Tenkaichi 3. Now, Tenkaichi 2 here, super cheap, 880 yen after tax. I did get tax free on a lot of this stuff. Some of it I didn't, depending on the store. A lot of places you have to spend at least 5,500 yen in one go to get the tax free exemption, or they might not offer it at all. Um, so, I don't remember exactly which ones I got it on and which ones I didn't, but the artwork's cool. And either one of these games, Tenkaichi 2 or 3, trying to buy this in the US, I mean, you're going to pay, what is it, probably 80, 90 bucks right now. So to get a Japanese copy for about $10 is pretty cool. I just like having it, especially now that Sparking Zero's out, to have ones that say Sparking Meteor, Sparking Neo, obviously. It's the same series. This was a good find. Anything Fist of the North Star related I wanted to get, as you'll see. But this was the only PS1 game I found. But it's a 3D fighter for the PS1. And I've heard that it's pretty fun gameplay, but this is one of my favorite anime. It was the first anime I ever watched. So anything with Hokuto no Ken, as it's said in Japanese, anything with Fist of the North Star, I was definitely gonna get. So I picked that up. This one here, Fist of the North Star. This was a Sega. This one's actually a fighting game. You'll see in a second that a couple of the other ones I got for it are not fighting games. But I'm interested to check this out because I kind of grabbed it and it kind of got lost in the shuffle, and I forgot to even look up what it was at the time. But now that I know it's a fighting game, I'm really excited to play it. And 1180, super cheap. But man, you just can't beat that. So the other Fist of the North Stars I got, they're actually these Pachislot games. It's like a slot game. Basically, like you use these slot machines, and some sort of action happens on the screen. They have kind of little cutscene things. Yeah, I'm really not sure, but like I said, it's Fist of the North Star related. So, and it was only 480 yen. I felt there were a ton of copies of this everywhere, so it kind of leads me to believe that it's not going to be too good. Um, but for me, I just really wanted anything with Fist of the North Star on it. So that's Pachislot, and then this is Pachislot 2 Special Edition. You see, obviously, the artwork's a little different, but it's the same kind of concept going on here. Those will be interesting. I'm excited to check them out. And then last but not least, the last two I've got, Yu Yu Hakusho. I found a couple of games. I forget the title of this one. I thought that this was the Dark Tournament. Actually, yeah. I mean, well, it's got Sensui there. I should have looked up what this was before I did the video. All I know is it's Yu Yu Hakusho, which is one of my favorite anime, and it's a fighting game, and it wasn't very expensive, and I'm excited to try it out. This other one, Yu Yu Hakusho Forever. You can see this one was really cheap, 980 yen. And I'm excited to try that one out too. So those are the PlayStation 2 games that I picked up in Japan. I picked up a silver PlayStation 2 Slim. Just going to kind of show you the front. I'm about to hook this baby up. Can't really tell, but that power light indicator is just waiting for me. Just pull this out real quick. Not too much. So yeah, you can see I got it from a store called Trader. It was a second hand. They marked that the console has body damage, but I mean, there's like some light scratches on it, but man, it's a freaking PlayStation 2. What do you expect? It's a beautiful console. I'm so glad I found a silver one. I paid about $60 for it after I grabbed the hookups because it didn't come with them. But yeah, that's what I got from Tokyo in terms of the PS2, and I'm gonna spend all freaking day playing these games today, so I'm very excited. See you guys later.